許せ、サスケ。これで最後だ。
What's up everybody, it's your boy Hokage here, welcome to the video. Now before I get into Boruto chapter 20 through 23 preview, I want to give my boy Eric a shout out. I already said it in my Boruto chapter 22 review, but he makes these colored pages for the Boruto manga, and he recently made an Instagram account which you really need to follow because, you know, this manga is monthly, and, you know, I guess that seeing these colored panels from time to time can be really cool. And, you know, this guy helps me a lot with these thumbnails which attract new people, because obviously when something is colored, people are more likely to click. You know, that benefits everybody. So yeah, please, if you can, follow him on Instagram. It will be in the description below. And let's start with the preview for the next chapter of Boruto. Now, chapter 22 is one of those chapters that pretty much everybody thought was perfect. Now, of course, general opinions don't mean that something has to be like that. I'm just saying pretty much everybody liked it. And another common thing right now for the entire community is that we all think that the next chapter has the potential to surpass this one. And I feel as though there are two scenarios which could happen in the next chapter. And one of them is that we're going to see an action-packed chapter again, and the other one is that it's going to be filled with a lot of dialogue. Now, to be honest, I want this chapter to be full of dialogue, and I want Ao's backstory to be explained. So let me just first cover that scenario that I think might happen, and later on I'm going to get into the first scenario that I mentioned. So, if you haven't seen my chapter 22 review, you probably don't know this, but in that video I showed a clip of me, 7 days before the actual chapter, saying how I think that Kashin Koji will kill Ao, and then in the following chapter we're gonna, get the backstory. And it really makes sense, because the current arc is called the Ao arc. It's not Kara arc, like the official name is Ao arc, and it really focuses on him. Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm 95% sure that he is dead at the moment, so it only makes sense for Kashin Koji to explain his backstory, because Boruto was obviously, you saw it in the 22nd chapter, he was super surprised when he saw, Ao protecting him with that water style jutsu, and like, come on man, like, he needs to ask Kashin Koji, yo, why did you kill him? And then Kashin Koji could potentially explain the backstory and everything, or we might get the answers in the future. But my point is, I want to see some more info about Ao. The next thing that I'd like to mention, the way that Kashin Koji addressed Boruto. He told him, "Pleased to meet you, Uzumaki Boruto-kun." Again, I know I already said this in my chapter 22 review, but every time I make these manga videos, a lot of new people join the channel, and they, come across these videos. When you call somebody, when you address somebody as kun, that means that you have some type of relationship with him. Obviously, Boruto and Kashin Koji just met for the first time. Yes, they were both in the same train a couple of chapters ago, but they never actually talked to each other. So this was the first official meeting, I guess, of Kashin Koji and Boruto. And obviously, it's really strange that he's referring to Boruto as kun. So that either means that he wants to develop a good relationship with Boruto, or he just wants to manipulate Boruto into joining the Car organization. Why would Kashin Koji want Boruto to be a part of the Car organization? Very simple, because of the seal he got from Momoshiki. Obviously, Kara was seen, looking at all of those seals on that wall, and, that's, like, I guess, an explanation as to why Kashin Koji would want him in the Kara. Which is which is a very popular theory nowadays. I don't know if I mentioned it. Yeah, I did mention it in my chapter 22 review. But even before, a lot of people were speculating that Boruto could end up joining the Car organization eventually. And now that, we see Kashin Koji standing there addressing him as kun, it could really mean something else. And overall, this entire scenario that I'm talking about, scenario filled with information, dialogue, I think it's likely to happen because I don't know, seeing combat again for another chapter could be, I don't know, it could be too much, in my honest opinion. Because, you know, I always prefer dialogue than, you know, fights, especially in the manga format. And the thing is, Kashin Koji looks too strong. I feel as though he could one-shot everybody in 5 seconds if he actually wanted to. And I don't want to see a fight of Kashin Koji holding back against them, if you get what I mean. Let's get to the first scenario that I mentioned. I actually saw a comment, I don't know if it was on Twitter or YouTube. I just saw a comment of somebody saying Mitsuki Sagemont, Boruto Jogen / Seal, Sarada 2 Tomo Sharingan, Konohamaru Toad Summoning or Sage Mode, something like that. Meaning that it's gonna get, you know, everyone's gonna go all out. Now, this does sound interesting, it does sound fun, but is it gonna happen? I don't know. I mean, we could potentially see Konohamaru summoning a Toad. And by the way, when I said that I think the second scenario is more likely to happen, I don't think we won't get any action in the chapter. There's probably going to be some action, but I don't think action will be the main focus of the entire chapter. That's what I was referring to. We're not going to get an entire chapter of just, you know, people talking, obviously. Anyway, we could potentially see Konohamaru summoning a Toad. Now, he was seen summoning some Toad earlier in the Boruto anime. That Toad didn't look too powerful, so I don't know if he can summon some Toads that are more powerful. He probably can, I really don't know. A lot of people are disappointed so far with Konohamaru, but I still feel as though he hasn't shown his full power. So could this be the moment when he shows his full power and, you know, goes all out against Kashin Koji? I mean, in this 22nd chapter, as soon as he saw Kashin Koji, he was like, this guy isn't an ordinary person, if you get what I mean. He looked like, I don't want to say scared, but definitely a bit nervous. And he got injured in the 22nd chapter, when he protected Boruto from Ao's explosion. So I don't know, I don't feel like Konohamaru could fight him. Boruto, he used the Shadow Clone technique, he used 3 clones, he used the Chakra Saber, he used the Rasengan a couple of times in the last couple of chapters. He shouldn't have too much chakra left, which could trigger the seal to activate, or the Jogen, something like that. I'm not saying that these two things activate when you don't have chakra, but I'm just randomly guessing. Because in the anime, when Boruto and Kagura were fighting against Shizuma, and when, you know, Boruto was holding the Mizukage's sword, you know, Jogen activated for a split second. So I don't know, maybe one of these two things could appear. As for Mitsuki, I still think he can't enter Sage Mode consciously. A lot of people bring up the fact that he went into Sage Mode and during the Gang graduation exam against Shino, but I don't think that was full Sage Mode. I talked about that a couple of months ago. He probably gathered some nature chakra, because, you know, if that was full Sage Mode, you know, I feel like Shino would be dead. Because you saw how fast he was in Sage Mode, and overall Sage Mode grants you a lot of abilities. So I don't know if he can, you know, enter Sage Mode. And Sarada only has the 1 Tomo Sharingan at the moment, and I don't know what she could do against Kashin Koji. Honestly, don't know. Now, you know, that person that left that comment said 2 Tomo Sharingan. If we see a fight between Team 7 and Kashin Koji, I feel like it is the right time for Sarada to get the 2 Tomo Sharingan, because, I mean, you know, she has the 1 Tomo Sharingan for a very, very long period. It's kind of irritating, to be 100% honest. I'm not saying that it's bad writing or anything, I just wanted to get the 2 Tomo Sharingan, that's basically it. And I know that a lot of people agree with me when it comes to that. So, yeah, if we see a full battle, you know, between Kashin Koji and Team 7, that's fine. But as I said, Kashin Koji gives off that vibe that, you know, he can one-shot everybody. I mean, that guy from the inner circle of the Kara, who was probably killed a couple of chapters ago, that old man, he had fucking regeneration. And, you know, the flames that, you know, Kashin Koji used still most likely killed him. I'm saying most likely because we never got the one, like, the confirmation that he died, like, 100%. But I'm pretty sure that he died. And, like, I imagine that those flames are not even Koji's biggest, or I should say strongest jutsu. I feel as though that's something that he can casually use anytime. And, you know, if he hits anybody from Team 7 with those flames, they're probably gonna die, because as I said, the old guy had regeneration and he still got defeated. slash killed. So you get my point. Now, obviously, this whole thing when, you know, Team 7 searching for Konohamaru happened because Naruto told, you know, Boruto and the others go search for Konohamaru. That was, I think, a couple of chapters ago. If you remember, if you follow my manga reviews, I did a rant video back then because, you know, Naruto doesn't know if Kara could be, you know, involved within this whole situation. Kara is involved. But the thing I'm trying to say is Naruto told him to go when there can potentially be some Otsutsuki level threat there. Because I think Sasuke mentioned that these guys could be on the Otsutsuki level. The writers of Boruto try to justify this by, you know, having Boruto be the closest to the scene. But I still feel like that was stupid, especially because when Naruto said that to, you know, Boruto and the others, Shikamaru and Sai were in the same room. Now, one thing that could make me less angry about that is if some backup was sent immediately. For example, if Sasuke or somebody like that is on its way to, you know, the place where Boruto and his teammates are standing, you know, next to Kashin Koji, that would be fine. But yeah, I don't know, I still don't like that. You could argue that, you know, they just believed that Kara isn't involved, but to me it's not. I don't know, for me it's a big mistake, especially because fucking Shikamaru, one of the smartest people in the Naruto universe, was there. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that right now. The thing I'm trying to say is somebody could be on his way, or his/her way, but it's probably going to be a he, to the location where Boruto is. Now, could somebody die here? I don't know. It's definitely not gonna be Boruto, Sarada, or Mitsuki. That's what I think. If somebody has to die, it's probably gonna be Konohamaru, I believe. But I don't know. I don't know. People always bring up the fact that he didn't get enough character development and that he shouldn't die. But so lately, he's been getting more and more screen time in the anime. And, you know, the Momoshiki arc is about to start. You know, he can get developed even more then. And, you know, everything that anime does so far is very long. I mean, long. Very complex. They showcase the development of multiple characters very deep. And once they get to the manga stuff, I'm sure they're going to expand upon it. So if Konohamaru dies, potentially, I'm saying potentially, in this mission, yes, from this perspective, from the perspective of manga readers, this could be, you know, strange in a way. But if you follow the series from episode 1, you know that, you know, he's been getting some development lately and he's going to get more development, so it's not crazy if he dies. And I'm not going to lie, most of the things he tried to do so far weren't too spectacular. I mean, yes, he did save Boruto now, you know, but there's just something, I don't know. I keep saying that he hasn't shown his full power, but something is bugging me about Konohamaru constantly, and about his powers and the way he is being portrayed. Hopefully all of this can be fixed in the next chapter, but then again, I feel as though it's going to be, you know, hard to pull off against Kashin Koji. I really don't know, guys. I really don't know. I mean, I have high expectations for the chapter. I think it has the potential to be even better than the last chapter. The 22nd chapter is one of my favorite, if not my favorite chapter of the Boruto manga. And honestly, I can't wait to see the next chapter. Hopefully we get some information on Kashin Koji. That would be nice. Could he somehow be related to Jiraiya? Some people speculate that he could be Jiraiya's son. I don't know. He's 100% not Jiraiya, that's for sure. But we'll see. We'll see. There are many similarities between him and Jiraiya. I already talked about that multiple times in the past. But as I said, he's not Jiraiya. Once again, he's not Jiraiya. I even have 2 videos explaining why he isn't Jiraiya. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think will happen in the next chapter. Are you excited? What do you want to see? Do you want to see an action-packed chapter? Do you want to see some dialogue? Potentially some other Kara members, you know, stepping in? I really don't know. So as I said, let me know in the comment section of this video. Twitter and Discord links are in the description below. That was your boy Hokage, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.